Welcome to another episode of That's the Thing, Accent Core Plus R. It's episode .44, and it is Monday, October the 11th.
Wrong, it's
And
.45.
whatever, I wasn't here last week.
Yeah,
It doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. Are you in .44.5 remind?
3Ds even.
362 divided by 2 days.
Kevin, hit him with the knowledge, but we're talking about Xehanort.
Okay, we're talking about Xehanort. And I vaguely know what Xehanort is, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, there's a vague... So in Kingdom... Okay, Kingdom Hearts is back in the news.
Yeah. Kevin, also, hit him with your pedigree. What games have you and have you not played from the old Kingdom Hearts game?
Okay, I have played Kingdom Hearts 1. I have played Chain of Memories. I have played Kingdom Hearts 2. I have played Kingdom Hearts 365 over 2 days. I did not play Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep because I didn't have a PSP at the time, and I still don't. I played Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, and I've played Kingdom Hearts 3. So I'm missing one of the main ones.
Okay.
And none of the mobile games.
And the important thing, how many Kingdom Hearts wiki articles have you read and or written?
I have not read any. Well, okay, no, I did read one because I made a tweet about data, and I had to double check that I knew what data was. And I kind of do. Because that comes into play with Data Sora and Data Riku. And also Ansem the Wise plan to digitize data. And that's also Traverse Town's data self, but it also is real because Roxas remembers. Listen, Kingdom Hearts is...
So I remember when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out and reading the instruction guide on the toilet and realizing Roxas's name was just Sora with an X in it.
Oh, you actually... I never got that until they actually explained it.
Well, no, Kevin, because you weren't like, oh, I'm excited for this game, but I gotta take a twosies, so I'm gonna have to like just read the guidebook that came with this.
Oh, it's 358 divided by 2 days.
Yeah, that makes sense. The power of twosies.
Yeah, and I never did the other mobile game, like the one that has the finale in Kingdom Hearts 3 where all the mobile game characters come and they help you fight. In like the Nier Automata moment.
I think you're also missing, what was it, 2.8 and the Rhythm one.
Yeah, Melody of Memory. That's like the last one that's been out.
Technically, you can't be an expert because you got to play this game.
That's true. Listen, I'm not a Kingdom Hearts scholar. I'm like a Kingdom Hearts substitute teacher. I know enough to get by. But if you wanted to say, like, are you certified for it? I'm like, I don't know.
You roll in the TV and it's a video essay from YouTube.
Yeah. I'm like, listen, kids, this is what the teacher said to do. If she wants to ask about the specifics of Organization 13, I can't really help you. I'm only a vague of like 3 Xehanorts. I think there's like 10. I know there was an entire Organization 13 that was entirely Xehanort at one point.
You ask the kids where they stopped at, and they start explaining about the Keyblade Wars.
Oh man, the Keyblade Wars.
And Vince is like, oh, okay, good. Okay, good, I know this, I can help.
So that's Kingdom Hearts' biggest issue, is that it's every stupid side content game matters intrinsically to the point where, like, there's parts in those games I don't understand, and I have to watch a YouTube video to learn, like, oh, well, this is the mobile game plotline where we saw Axel in his human form. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Until they, reboot it and change things slightly.
They really should just reboot that game.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Kingdom Hearts is big, dumb, and complicated, right?
Yes.
And that's secret. But how come when Yoko Taro does it, it's awesome?
Oh, because in Yoko Taro, the main, like, if you play just the main series, like if you just play the main games, you understand the story, and the side content is generally like I'm getting some background noise on Drew.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
I'm just
okay.
gonna mute until I get my copy.
All right, that's fine. Anyway, yeah, with Yoko Taro, like you still get a decent story, and then you get some context with like the other stuff. Like you can play Near Automata and get a bunch of it without having seen the Yorha Girls stage play. But if you do see it, it actually adds to the thing instead of like subtracting. Whereas in Kingdom Hearts, it's like if you didn't play the Game Boy card game at the start of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, that's right. Drew said it's the seasoning, it's not the main course. Whereas like
Yeah.
in Kingdom Hearts, it's all direct sequels, and also a lot of them are on different consoles. So it's one of those things where like you got a PlayStation 2 for Kingdom Hearts, and then it's like, oh, you didn't have your GBA? Well, then you're not going to understand the first chunk of Kingdom Hearts 2. And then it's like, oh, you didn't have your DS to play 358 over 2? Well, sorry, you're not going to know what's going on. With Namen, with Roxas, yeah, yeah, the 3DS for Dream Dot. And then they've released like the PlayStation 4 whatever compilations of all those games. But I don't know.
Yeah, that you can buy the all-in-one that has everything
Yeah. The
for
Kingdom
like
Hearts.
$100. Actually, I think it's on sale for like 20 or 30 right now.
Yeah. I think it's like, yeah, the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package or whatever.
Yeah, but what idiot like doesn't have at least like 3 or 4 of those?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, now's the time to jump in and get the whole pack.
Yeah. It's a weird series. We're only talking about it because Sora's in Smash.
Yeah, Sora's in Smash. Well, Mario went to Link the First Flame.
I thought
Only
that
for us
was
to
a
find
dick
out.
move. I thought that was a real dick move because, like, it looks like Dark Souls. I was like, oh, okay, they're doing it. And then,
I
no.
was about to do that.
It almost feels like it was going to be, and then a deal, like, either came through at the last minute or didn't, and then they just, like, swapped the cutscene. Because if memory serves, like, Bandai Namco owns Dark Souls, and they have already thrown in, like, Tekken and crap, so I would imagine that the licensing would be way easier to get a Dark Souls character than it would be to get a Sora Kingdom Hearts.
Wait, that means I want to see like a Tekken show up in Dark Souls.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could probably have, like, the Devil Gene somewhere.
Exactly.
Oh, that would be so like there's South Town, there's like the Heihachi Mishima, and then if you go like 30 miles to the west, there's the Undead Asylum. It's like yeah, and then there's The Walking Dead is going on to the south, and Final Fantasy 15's going on kind of, around there.
I want the Dark Souls walking up into like the big cathedral area, and then it's just Kazuya, and he's just Korean backdashing.
Oh man, that'd be so hard to
You get-
handle.
You get wall bounced by him.
They would say that the Devil Gene is actually part of the first flame, or the flame of chaos of Quelags, who was like distributed across the world.
Right, then what's the Satsuno Hado? Is that part of the Dark Curse? No.
It's just evil karate.
It's just evil karate. Like you just have to have.
It's separate. The chaotic flame doesn't touch that.
No,
you just leaves that alone.
Yeah, if you're evil and corrupt, which honestly kind of works in like the Dark Souls 2, where like you fake it till you make it. Where the Satsui Hado is if you believe yourself to be enough evil karate, you get the powers of the evil karate. Which is why it's like very hard to control unless you're Akuma and just love it.
Well, I don't think Akuma thinks of himself as evil.
Uh,
The only, the only reason he's evil is because he'll kill you if you like are a good enough fighter.
That is true. I'm gonna. You have a point because he did honor his deal with Kasumi Mishima. Like that's not an evil thing to do.
And there's like the official artwork of him just like selling mangoes. Because even Akuma has to eat.
I mean, it makes sense.
Kevin, he'll link the first flame. He'll make the good choice.
I don't know. Akuma would not link the first flame. Akuma would want to see what he would like to fight in the dark of humanity. Go to the abyss and just start punching. I don't think Akuma would burn his soul to like give the world a chance. Akuma wants to become the strongest, and he would venture forth into the.
It's like Bones of Creation.
Exactly.
He's amped that the demons are coming back.
He just wants a fight. Just like Xenos Final Fantasy. Also, this whole same plot. The character's just like a lot of the Final Fantasy 14 community does not like Xenos Final Fantasy because they think like, oh, his motivation is he just wants to fight the strongest, and I'm like, no, that's great.
That's good.
Because everyone else is like has all this grandiose like crystal like universe. He's like, no, I just want to fight the toughest dude, and that is you, player character. That's it. It's great. I love it.
I love that character.
It's always it's the Hisoka. It's always great.
Hisoka, Akuma, Majima.
Yeah, that character who's just not just want to fight you because you're the strongest rules. Especially when they start dealing with the other badder guys, because that gets in their way of just fighting the strongest.
Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah. Like, I thought it was really cool that, like, Akuma, well, he didn't, but, like, they said he killed, like, M. Bison. I thought that was radical.
No, I think he did, and then he got better.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, because M. Bison's, like, psychic clone.
Psycho power.
Yeah, the psycho power. Didn't they say that the psycho power of M. Bison is, like, the same thing that works in, Athena from King of Fighters?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? That's funny if true.
Because it makes sense.
I mean, this is Psycho Soldier.
Yeah.
And so is M. Bison.
Yeah, like, it's effectively the same thing. But anyway, how's things going?
So what you're saying is that now the universes are connected, and we can have Lightning McQueen on the bonus stage for Street Fighter.
Oh, hell yeah. That would rule.
Yeah.
I don't know. Has Lightning McQueen ever been in, like, a Kingdom Hearts? I don't think he has.
Not that I know of.
Are they saving that one for the next one? The Cars world, where they're all cars?
Yeah, or Sora.
Yeah, like Sora as a truck.
Donald's a helicopter, and Goofy.
Whoa. Donald would be a boat. He is a sailor.
No, he'd be like a pontoon helicopter, like the airplane with like.
No, that's
yeah.
Baloo.
Oh man, now you made me excited. Like that's the thing about Kingdom Hearts. Where, like my brain's like, but then you're going like tailspin, and now I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, like the Kingdom Hearts lets you get real dumb real fast.
I think that's the charm of Kingdom Hearts. It's like when the Kingdom Hearts first started, the Disney things I was not really into, but eventually they're still taking their time with it. Where I like it when they've remixed the Disney stuff, where it's just not here's the movie, but Sora, Donald, and Goofy are there. Where it's more like here's this place where the movie is, and sometimes other stuff is going on too. So I like, and like a lot of the games where it just kind of drags, and then you'll see I remember it was like the first game where like the Nightmare Before Christmas one was somewhat different because that land was all about them trying to build a heart because they're the heartless and they're like, well, can we do it? Because we're like Tim Burton's.
We're not that different from a Heartless.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's kind of conceptually interesting. And then the best moment in Kingdom Hearts 3 where Woody tells some anime character that no one ever loved you. That was big good. Or the Monsters Inc. that took place after Monsters Inc. And they were just having like their Monster Inc. thing. And then Sully threw some like anime heartless Xehanort into a door and closed it, and then they shredded the door, and they're like, problem solved.
There you go.
It's like, I don't know where they are, but they ain't here. It's like, good job. Good job, Sully and Mike Wazowski. Big fan. I hope Smash is over. Sakurai needs to rest.
So I hope Sakurai's Smash is over. Like, there's no way.
Oh, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, Nintendo will continue to make another Smash game, or they'll do like another. But like, just let the man rest.
Yeah, I want it to be someone else's turn to make it.
Let him try to make another stab at Kid Icarus Uprising, but not wrist destroying.
Now, see, he's gonna make a new one, but you're gonna need the N64 accessory controller to play it.
Oh, that'd be sick. Yeah, you gotta exclusively. You gotta buy it. The greatest of all controllers, the N64 controller. I kind of like the Nintendo 64 controller.
It's stupid, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, it's not a good controller. It's a bad controller. Like the Dreamcast controller is a bad controller.
Yeah.
But with the there's something I'm not gonna say like maybe Fisher Price, but how like weird the controller is and how unnecessary the Nintendo 64. It has a good silhouette. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
It's like designed by a cartoonist for their kid to be playing in the background shot.
Yeah, and I like that energy.
It's a real controller.
Like it feels like the Mad Catz like $10-15 knockoff controller, but the real one.
But it's the real one, yeah.
Yeah, like this. It's like, no, this is the official one. It doesn't have the fan vents in it that never worked.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, they're supposed to blow your hands and keep them from being sweaty.
I don't think I've ever seen those work. Or if they did, maybe by the time I had to use one of those controllers at a friend's house, they had long since broken.
Let me tell you, my experience of buying a Mad Catz controller was I bought one, it didn't work, I returned it or exchanged it, and that one did not work either.
Hell yeah.
And then people were like, oh, hey, but they make really good fighting sticks. They make great arcade sticks. And then they went bankrupt.
And that's the end of that chapter.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... I guess Smash is done for now. Yeah. Nickelodeon Smash, I've been watching a little bit of it. That game seems really fast.
I don't know, man. That game just looks too janky.
I agree, and it's also like I'm not in a position where I can play that game reliably. And I don't want to play against people online. I just don't want to do it. Like randoms, yeah. That's what I mean. Like, but and there's something like maybe the game feels empty. Like I'm gonna use the comparison of launch Street Fighter V, where it was kind of like you have your basic arcade mode and then versus, and that's kind of it. And when I see that game, that's sort of what I see. Where like maybe when we get the Street Fighter, the Nickelodeon All Star Bro Championship Edition, where they've added in like characters and like it bothers me that there's only 2 of the 4 Ninja Turtles in that game.
Oh, okay. It bothers me that they're all 90s Ninja Turtles. Like I would prefer it if it was like 90s Leonardo and then like 2003 Mikey and then
the CG one and then the Rise of the TMNT one. So you get like all the flavors.
Yeah. Or even the like give me one that's just in black and white and it's like the classic Eastman.
See, that should be like Splinter or Shredder.
Yeah.
Where they're all it's that kind of like I feel like once that game gets enough content, at least enough content of Melee, it feels like we're seeing the Smash 64 or Smash 64 did not have a ton of content on there if you're playing it by yourself. It's a good game. I had a lot of fun with Smash Brothers 64, but that was only because I was playing with other people at like a sleepover. Whereas I will give Melee this. It had a lot to do.
Yeah, and also better stuff to do. Like, Brawl probably had more to do, but it was worse. Like, I did not care about the Subspace Emissary at all.
Oh, it was terrible. There's something... I think it's just because maybe it was the time, my age, and everything, but I feel like I spent a lot of time playing Melee in like single player, doing like the arcade modes and like the mission modes and whatever.
Same, and break the targets and home run derby.
Yeah, with like everyone. Whereas like I didn't do that in Smash 4 or in Brawl. Even though technically Brawl and Smash 4 and Ultimate, but I don't have Ultimate. But like there's so much crap to do there, but it doesn't feel like it's as massive as Melee was, and I can't really explain it.
Well, I think it's like it's crappy story mode stuff that I don't care about. Like the stuff that's in Melee has the same energy as a Tony Hawk game where you just retry and it reloads immediately and you try to race to the end of Mute City as fast as possible as Captain Falcon with a bunny hood.
Yeah. Or you're doing like you're just doing this. I think.
Oh no! Like Ultimate removed like break the targets and everything. And like one single thing you have to run through, and that's it.
I think Brawl removed break the targets too, didn't it?
I think it did. I think the only thing in Brawl was it was like the story mode and maybe the arcade mode. Well, we can look it up. I can just look it up.
And like,
it was adventure mode. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then it also has like classic.
Yeah, it was the Subspace Emissary. Like they all have like the event matches and crap, but I don't know. It felt like that game. It's also because that game was around like the birth of internet, I would say.
That's what I was just thinking. So like after you'd been playing for long enough and be like, oh man, then you could like go on and see someone's break the target task bot and be like, that's just stupid.
Or even like features. Like I remember you get your video game magazine of like everything in there, but it just felt like there's more to do. It's also back in the day I had less infinite entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are now exist in an age where you can play Fortnite for free forever on your phone, and not that that's a better or worse existence, but there's just like there are many more options of video game and video game stuff. Where before it was like, okay, I can either do Melee try to get everyone on hard on the arcade whatever mode, or I can watch a rerun of Doug. So I'm gonna do the melee.
Or it was also like, hey, this is your game for like maybe the next 5 to 6 months.
Yeah.
You're kind of stuck.
Yeah, that is very true. Like it's a lot of those GameCube games that kind of hold that spot in my brain, like Melee, Metroid
Soul Calibur
Prime,
2.
Soul Calibur 2, Soul Calibur
Resident
1
Evil
as well.
4.
Resident Evil 4 I got on PS2.
There was like, oh yeah, these are only games I want to play for like maybe until my next birthday or Christmas.
Yeah. Man, I got Star Fox Adventures, and that game sucked, but I played a ton of it because there was nothing else. It's one of those, like,
The best part was, well, the saddest part was your like grandma or something would give you like a horrible, like awful game. But you're still gonna play it.
Oh man, I played. It didn't matter. It did not matter what the game was. I was gonna play it. I was in there. And then because it had to happen. But anyway, I've been having old man problems because in life there is a delicate balance between being hydrated and being too hydrated. Because if you should try to stay hydrated, but if you drink too much water, you gotta pee all the time. That's been my problem.
Listen, there's an easy way to fix this. Just be dehydrated and die.
There you go.
The best thing you can do.
Or you just keep the bottle on at all times and just go just a constant stream in and out. That's how you do it. Constant hydration. Or you do like what they do sometimes whenever people are like really dehydrated. You get the IV, like the saline solution. You just get it in you.
That's perfect. You can play all day.
Yeah, then you just keep going. I remember that was a bad look. It was either a football player, I think, was instead of like at halftime or whatever, instead of drinking water, like a ton of water, it might have been in college or something. They get like the saline water, like IV solution, because their rationale was like to drink that much water makes you feel bad if you're doing like exerting a ton and then like drinking like a gallon of water. It's like that's terrible. But the picture came out and it looked real bad of someone getting like, well, time for halftime, and they go up and get the IV. That was a while ago.
They get their Gatorade Arctic Blast IV.
Yeah, well, you need it. The blue Gatorades are always the best. Unless you're sick, then I like yellow, because yellow tastes like sickness.
Yellow's the one you drink when you are sick.
I know. To me, yeah, that's the taste of sickness to me, or of healing.
See, I was gonna say I have like whenever I take a shot of NyQuil, yeah, it's rough, but I love it because I know it's like sleep will soon embrace me and I will feel better.
That's what we crave. All right, I'm looking at our crap. If you want to just jump in. Are we supposed to talk about our weeks or whatever?
Guilty Gear's getting patched next Friday, the 15th. And it's supposed to be like a bigger one that's going to adjust some like overall game mechanic stuff. And also hopefully increase how quickly you get into the game.
The biggest problem of Guilty Gear. The 15-minute searching for server.
Listen, to quote Mitch Hedberg, I love Guilty Gear. You know, I love it so much. You know, you just start it up because maybe I don't want to play Guilty Gear, but maybe when it's done loading, I will want to play Guilty Gear.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. I'm trying to get through Final Fantasy crap. I got to the point of doing the Nier raids. I did that. Those raids are pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, that's how you get your full set.
Yeah, I got that because that drops in like the first one. So you get your butt enhancement pants, but you got to be careful wearing those because sometimes like I feel it's indecent for my warrior of light to be going butt out all the time. Unless you're in the 2B outfit, then it's appropriate. That's canon. That's how those outfits are designed.
Those outfits were designed by a disgusting pervert.
Yeah.
But he's also the king.
Yep. I mean, that's how it works. That's how Yoko Taro works. He sits in his bathtub and looks at that picture of the idol. I love that like interview, documentary, whatever, where it's just Yoko Taro talking about like how he lives and how he's like what it's like working at like Platinum and Square Enix. And it's just him walking around and them going to get drinks, but they're just carrying around the Emil head and Yoko Taro's like subtle voice in the background just being like, "Hey, stop saying I'm good. I'm really not. Shut up." No, that's like it. It's pretty good. Endless Space happens. That game, I can't read chat in that game. It's too hard.
It's okay.
I need to focus on my space. I love it. I love that game so much. It's so great.
It's fantastic. I've been playing a bunch of it too. How are your ecological cravers going?
They're doing pretty well. I haven't played. That's the stream game, so I don't play that on stream. Like my science boys were on stream. My Lumeris civilizations on my own time. That one's going okay. I still haven't been playing much of that because I still need to. I need to get this Final Fantasy main quest done before the expansion next month. The expansion can't launch and I'm like behind. So that's like my current goal. I gotta get the content done. I must do it. I gotta watch all the cutscenes and learn about the Allegan Empire and the rejoining and what those zany Asians are up to.
Okay, well, I'll be on Endless Space Watch for a while then.
Hell yeah.
I kind of completely stopped my Final Fantasy stuff because I'm like, I gotta get through a couple of campaigns in this.
Yeah, that's fine. Final Fantasy will keep. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So how many factions have you played?
I have played currently. I played the Empire in the tutorial. I played the I want to call them the Solarians, even though they're not.
Yeah, they're pretty much hilarious.
The science geckos. I beat with them. Lumerans I'm currently working on. Cravers I'm working on, and that's kind of it. Because I feel like I've won one game, so I can bump it up to normal from easy.
Oh, listen, I've had a fantastic experience with that. Because I did, of course, the tutorial with the Empire, and then I went straight to normal with the Hiso, thinking, like, you know what? I'm going to be on a warpath and, like, just destroy everyone.
Hell yeah.
For, like, 100 turns. Because I had no money and no honor and no resources and, like, maybe 5 systems.
There you go.
Only to realize that because I pushed so far into military tree, if I make a ship, I can sell it for like 9,000 dust.
Oh, so you can just the war economy is beginning.
I essentially went from being like an evil like conquering civilization to just mercenaries selling my fleets out. So I'm ending the game with like 100,000 dust,
Hell yeah.
while my alliance is just kicking ass everywhere else.
I disabled my alliance when I was close to science victory. I'm like, nah, you guys don't get to win. Only me. Get out of here, Horatio. You done. Get out.
Listen, I'm playing, my newest one's actually pretty fun because, well, it sucks. It sucks, but it's fun. But I'm playing the Unfallen.
Oh, is those the trees? I wanted to try the trees.
The trees suck.
Yeah.
If you get in without understanding how to colonize and spread your influence, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah, that's.
So the way do you know how they do it?
I know that they have to extend like tendrils through like the spaceways, and then they have to like gradually do it.
So what makes it even worse is you have to do it through every single spaceway you pass through. So if you have an anomaly in front of you, you have to spread your tendrils there, and then you have to spread it to another system
Ugh.
just to get to like the system you want, like 5 star lane pass. It's the worst, and it's so slow.
That's not sound fun.
But in my game, I have 2 Horatio factions,
Oh.
and one's called I Am Horatio, and the other's called The Real Horatio. And they both really want to be my friend.
Yeah, the competing Horatios.
Oh, for those that don't know, Horatio is a guy who cloned himself like 1 billion times,
Yeah,
and he has an army just himself.
of him. The most beautiful of all man, with your like conehead head. Listen, that's what happens when you keep eating too much space dust.
I finally figured out how to use the economy or the marketplace tab where I can sell supplies.
Oh yeah, that's great. I love selling it.
It's great. I also recently figured out the correct way to run my empire a little better, which is just keep hacking pirates all the time and having them go after other people.
Yeah, constant piracy. Just F them up.
But on the ban way. So people don't know you're the one that fucked the pirate.
Oh, of course. And then you gotta be like, I don't know why those pirate marks keep appearing on your capital. In my science game, I just let him do it. I had my whatever behemoth ship parked there, and they just like the pirate fleet would come in and then die. I'm like, okay, keep trying.
It's really fun to make an obliterator.
Oh yeah, the Star Destroyer, where you blow up that entire system. The missile goes on the planet. Yeah, it's good stuff. That's a good game. What did you guys think about the Resident Evil movie trailer?
I haven't watched it.
So the choice of the song is the slow emotional cover of the He-Man What's Going On song.
Yeah.
And it's something. I do like that it looks more like actual Resident Evil than the Mila Jovovich Resident Evils. I give it that. Where it's like, hey, look, it's actually Claire Redfield. And there's the RPD. And there's Chris Redfield. And like,
it's the trucker that got bit.
Yeah, why did he bite me? It's him.
Why did bite me?
It's him. And like, oh, it's actually Resident Evil instead of like this Mila Jovovich like fan fiction where she shows up and is psychic and is doing bat flips, and then there's like 1,000 of her, which is also kind of Resident Evil.
So in 2 decades, we're gonna get a real Monster Hunter movie.
Yes, that is correct. Like we have the Mila Jovovich phase, and then you get the actual video game movie when it's done. Yeah.
I never thought they'd be making a real Monster Hunter movie.
Oh man, wait till they make a good Street Fighter movie.
No, Kevin, let's not be silly here.
That's true. They couldn't even make a good Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I mean like a new Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they made one. I'm gonna give them 2. I like the Scorpion animated movie they made. I liked that one.
I was gonna say there's also like the Street Fighter anime movie.
Yeah, that one's good.
But not Alpha. Alpha's not good.
Oh, Alpha? No, I'm saying the one where like the good Street Fighter one.
Yeah.
Well, they really just need to stick to making 3D Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, there you go. Those are terrible. I love them. Speaking of 3D, what's up with that Dragon Ball Z 3D movie?
Man, that animation looks really bad. Am I wrong?
It looks bad at parts, and then at parts it looks okay. But it looks like I'm watching a video game cutscene, and I'm in a video game cutscene. I would say, wow, that's pretty good. But for an animated movie, it's like, wow, that's not good at all.
Like, honestly, why didn't they just hire ArcSys to make the movie? ArcSys does have a problem where they can't have walk cycles properly line up with speed or look realistic.
No,
like
every ArcSys walk cycle looks horrible.
It's like they're walking, but actually they're just sliding across the ground.
Yeah,
every time.
It's there's no weight in a walk cycle. It's heinous.
Yeah.
It's not like it looks different in the fight. It's fine, but when you're trying to see like the crew walking down a hallway, you're like, ooh, that does not look very good.
That ain't good.
You got the walk cycle of the Spider-Man animated GIF movie maker I had when I was a kid, where that's kind of how it worked, where you'd grab the Spider-Man of like he's walking, and then you'd kind of drag it across the screen, and you're like, there you go. Except it's so bad guy. Also, my problem with Dragon Ball is like my brain, it's hard to turn off my brain and go like, how are those 2 new Red Ribbon android guys even gonna compete with Goku?
Wait, are they Red Ribbon guys? I thought they were like aliens.
They have like the Red Ribbon symbol on them.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're androids.
Yeah, they're androids. It looks like they're new androids.
Also, if you like freeze frame it in the part where there's a big old dust cloud, you can see like Broly in it. So like I guess Goku's training with Broly.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh my god, it looks okay. Like my brain had picked it up some.
Yeah.
And watching it again, no, it hasn't. That picture where they have Vegeta in the pink and yellow. Oh yeah, they do have the red ribbon, don't they?
Yeah.
See, okay, I like that they brought the red ribbon back in Dragon Ball Z, even though I didn't know what that was when I first saw it. But now it's just like, you already did this once, you can't do it again.
Well, nah, yeah, they can.
And they did.
Yeah, I'm also watching the trailer again. It's one of these things like if this was like a Dragon Quest game or something that uses the Toriyama art style, and this is like the cutscene. I'm like, wow, that's impressive, but it's just not compared to like I've seen the cartoon.
Yeah.
I it's just kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe Dragon
Yeah.
Ball should stop. Should Dragon Ball stop?
Maybe.
Should we just stop? Just say it's done, like with Super, like Super was like the final hurrah.
I think the moral arc is kind of interesting, and then what they're doing right now is also kind of interesting. Okay, so I like wasted my time trying to get this screen grab, and then afterwards I saw the video underneath the trailer I was watching just had this screen grab.
There you go.
Bullock, there he is. There's the boy with his ear belt.
Yeah. Thank you, Broly.
Yeah. But man, it has a look to it, and it's almost good.
Yeah. It's that uncanny valley where they do that thing where it's like, and I don't know, I understand the thought process, but I've never thought it looked great where the 3D animation when it tries to be 2D, they skip frames in it, but they don't do it quite right, and it just makes it feel cheap instead of feeling like oh no, it's like you're trying to animate like the like the animation, that's only like 24 frames. It's like, no, but it doesn't work in 3D because you're not having the proper smears and stuff that they're using.
Yeah, and it's like, just go watch Into the Spider-Verse. Just go watch that. They did it right.
They did it right. I think Guilty Gear does it right in combat because they do have smear frames that actually work. If you're not using the smear frames and you're just using your models and you're moving, it doesn't look good if you're not at even a solid like 30 to 60 frames.
Yeah, they're looking like 1940s or 19. They're looking like Hanna-Barbera cartoons. They're skipping frames and not doing any real animating techniques.
It makes me think like the video is buffering or like had rendering problems. That's what my brain goes to. Like, oh man, they lost some frames on that one. But they just put it out anyway because that was the deadline. And then someone said, no, that's the style.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just don't know. That Lupin the Third, the first movie, looks good.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, Japan now is understanding how to make a CG movie.
Nah. They forgot.
That studio is understanding how to make a CG movie.
Yeah. I think it's some people got it more than others. I thought Dorohedoro looked good. But then again, it was a TV show, not a movie.
And it's also a budget thing, though, too. Of like, I can still tell Dorohedoro is cheap.
Yeah.
But they used their budget well.
It's also, yeah, you're like the niche thing where like, okay, so like Beastars and Dorohedoro are not going to get the money, but shouldn't Dragon Ball be getting that?
Yeah.
Like that's the mass market thing.
That's what I was thinking yesterday when I was just browsing Crunchyroll and like I saw the Berserk series and I was like, I know this is the CG one, but what if it's the like classic? No, it's the CG one, and I'm just like, how did Berserk get this? How did it not get like the Madhouse treatment?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What also doesn't make sense, I think we've talked about it, but like that Spider show, which I fell off of like when I basically stopped watching anime. It's directed and done by the same people that did the Berserk anime, and the Spider Show looks fine.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't
But
look
Nolan,
amazing, but it doesn't look laughably bad.
Yeah, it has its flaws, but it's not that one gif of Guts walking.
Or it's not that one of, like,
yeah.
Zod picking up that orc pig and then transforming and crushing its head, and it looks like, what the... What are you doing? You rat boy geniusing on me?
Well, I think I know why Berserk didn't get a big amount of money. It's because it wasn't a shonen or an isekai.
That's true.
See, they should have just made up and done like episode 1 as some nerd gets killed and then wakes up as Guts, and then it's just Berserk.
Oh man, that's a good tactic. That's gonna be my light novel. It'll be called Angry. And I'll just copy Berserk, but I'll have the first was like, I was an average otaku walking down the street, but then I tripped and fell over my Dakamaria, whatever, body pillows, and then it's just the rest of it's just Berserk. it's just Berserk, and it's like, man, this guy's really good.
No, Kevin, to bring things back, you need to title it like Berserk, but add an X in there and scramble the letters around.
New code, Berserko, my life in another world.
Hold on. I think Drew's got something.
I'm trying. I'm seeing what I can get.
You're thinking about it. Can I pick up girls in the dungeon?
Berserk Art Online.
There you go. Just call it Dark Souls.
There you go.
What if we have our anime where I get isekai'd into 60s Japan, and then I have to become a youth boxer in the penitentiary? The juvie. I gotta learn to be a boxer. Yeah, Brexis. That's pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
Brexis. My new life.
Brexies.
Yeah, and I like it, but then it has to have like colon and then like 3 sentences as like the explaining title. Can I get my girlfriend's memories back? Or finding love in a new world?
If there's one universe I never want to be isekai to, it's the Berserk universe.
It's up there. Yeah, my life as making friends, hanging out. Berserk is up there. I think Warhammer 40k might take it. Might barely edge out Berserk.
Why does Goku look so thick in that screen cap?
He got a fisheye lens. It's time to be bulbous. Really, my chart.
The proportions on him look so terrible.
It's because those models look weird. Like, you can't in cartoons. You can fake it. You can break the models, and 3D models cannot break as much, and then they look weird.
Like, oh man, that looks. Well, then that's on them for not designing the model well.
Well, it's part on that, but it's also you're adapting Goku, who is designed to be drawn. Like, Goku is a manga design.
I can't agree with that. Like, I look at like the KOF characters in 14 and they look fine. They need a better lighting engine, but they look fine. This is just like they hired a studio. God, this is fucking like quality of Dragon Ball Evolution in character designing.
I'm not going that bad.
I am in terms of character designs. It is lazy and sloppy, And like, because look at Goku in Fighters. Why didn't they just take those models?
It feels. It actually kind of looks like they did. It feels like they did. And we're getting Spider-Man Marvel Infinite, where like Spider-Man's model is designed to be in his Spider-Man pose, but then when you try to make him stand up, it's like, oh, you're not designed for that. I think that's what's going on with Goku.
I don't know, man. Like, also, I feel like it's camera angles too.
Oh, that's directing.
Like, even in
the directing
like,
is bad as directing. Bad
like,
director can
even
do
in
anything. It doesn't matter.
Even in that thumbnail for the trailer where it's like Goku with one arm back and then like one arm punching forwards, it looks like he's got little baby arms.
Yeah, that's the old that sucker is directing.
Perspective.
It's perspective is hard, but it's also directing.
Like, I don't know. I can't say it's all directing, because at that point, oh, well, my models look good from 2 angles. I guess I'm shooting this movie with only 2 angles.
Well, when I mean directing, I don't mean it's the sole fault, but I'm saying you got a lot of compounding issues. Like, it's not just one thing. They're all making a soup. And the soup is Goku with with extra junk in his trunk. I can't remember what Coach Z said in the Fish Eyelids song. Put Coach Z. Why don't we just put Coach Z in there?
What, in the new Dragon Ball movie?
Yeah, just put him in there.
Or in Kingdom Hearts?
Both.
You go to Strong Badia as a world in Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, that's not too far. Remember, like, the Chapmans, they worked on, like, some of the Gravity Falls and crap. There's a Disney connection.
Does Disney own Homestar Runner yet?
They're probably trying. There's probably, like, one lawyer who's, like, sneaking in. It's like, maybe I could take Homestar Runner and get it exclusively for Disney+.
God, I would be so hyped. I'm not even kidding. I would be so excited if I saw that get announced. Not that they would even announce it.
Okay, I don't want to give the mouse ideas, but that would be a thing, or I'd be like, okay,
the mouse is already different in the anime. So.
Like the mouse has already come for like the mainstream nerd crap, and then they start coming for like the insular, like the I'm gonna call Homestar Runner obscure. I'm gonna call it obscure.
Yeah.
They start coming. It'd be the equivalent of if they say now on Disney's Plus Newgrounds. They just took like the. Yeah. I'm like, uh-oh. Tomorrow's Nobodies is back on Disney Plus.
Now on Disney Plus, Mission Hill.
Ooh. Like, that would be like whatever HBO, because they have the Cartoon Network.
Yeah. But, supposedly they're trying to do a Wally and Gus spin-off of Mission Hill.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm saying like the internet cartoon. Like you get hard. Go in there.
Yeah.
No. Oh well, yeah. Clone College is still getting made too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now on Disney.
No, Kevin, this is like Tarantula got turned into a real cartoon.
Oh yeah.
And then TBS quickly realized what a mistake they'd done, and only gave it 1 season.
Yeah. Didn't quite work.
I love Tarantula.
Didn't quite work, but
I think it's done and over, but
yeah. I want the podcast to be done and over by saying Disney Plus acquires the Zone parody, porn parody. Exclusive rights. That's how we do it.
Disney has sent themselves a cease and desist letter over the Zone parodies.
Now that would be Giga Brain move if they just go, we are now, behold, we have hired Zone. We're put on Disney. We're gonna put it on the Disney's new section, Pleasure Island. There you go. You gotta to become donkey. You must go.
Later days, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.